Hello everybody, welcome back to the Chronicle Cast. I'm your host Evan.
I'm your host Nick.
And so first off, on the talking about the podcast, I have to explain myself.
You better.
So, well, first off, I wanted to point out, I did do one thing good. Obviously, I got a new microphone. It sounds leagues better than the last one. And it also
looks leagues better.
Yeah, it looks leagues better. It doesn't do the popping thing that it did last time. So I at least did that. Unfortunately, and I haven't even told you this.
Oh.
So the Animal Crossing videos, the 3 hours that we recorded.
Yeah, buddy.
Unusable.
Oh my god.
So the first hour, what ended up happening there was I used a format converter and it ruined it.
Okay.
It had overwritten over that file, and because of that, it corrupted it.
Okay.
So unfortunately, that one was unusable. And then the second one, I went through leaps and bounds trying to get that one to work, and I finally got it to the format that we needed.
Awesome.
Turns out the problem was the microphone that we were using wasn't picking us up, and the game was getting picked up louder than us, so we could barely hear us.
Oh, jeez.
So it was barely unusable.
Jeez.
So I was just man, I'll have to tell you this during the podcast because I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
I mean, thankfully Animal Crossing isn't
It's not going anywhere, but I mean
Well, it was more of, it didn't matter where we started on that. We could just explain that all we missed was the starting few days. I've gotten pretty far on it because I've been playing it in my free time, but it's not going to be the end of the world to start where I am and be yeah, I got a house upgrade. I have a house. Emma's in the game. My sister, she has a...
Oh, she's in the game as well?
Yeah, she put a tent up, but...
Better not be near my van by the river.
No, it's not.
Thank God.
But... I have a little bit of distance in the game just from 3 or 4 days. I'm not like other people that do the time traveling thing, so...
Yeah. That
was the explanation with that mess up. I feel really bad for it. It took forever just for me to sit there and play.
Well, I mean...
For us to record it, but when I was sitting there trying to edit it, it took forever to finally get it to the way I need, and then I look at it for 3 minutes, and then suddenly, it starts, it can hear us crystal.
Awesome.
And then the game starts up, and the wind that's blowing the trees is louder than us.
Oh my...
So, yeah, needless to say, it's unusable.
I'm gonna file you some divorce papers.
I'm sorry.
No, that's alright.
It
was still fun, though.
Oh, yeah, no, it was fun. And, of course, we're gonna record other episodes. I just, Unfortunately, I messed that up. That was my blunder. I'm sorry.
We all make mistakes. You more than others, but we all make mistakes.
Thanks. Alright, that's nice of you.
Yep.
Sorry, we normally do a guidelines for these, or this is how we've been doing it. I'm just kind of switching them around as I go. So yeah. I guess the first thing is we could probably talk about our weekly, what we've enjoyed this past week from the last podcast to now.
What, video-wise?
Anything.
Anything?
Any type of story that you've watched that you enjoyed.
Now, you want to go first, or me?
You can go ahead.
Because I already have a... Okay. I've been watching Beastars.
Oh, yeah?
If that's how you say it.
Yeah, we talked about it last time.
Yeah.
I told you that it was on Netflix.
Yeah, and then I had to binge watch it as much as I can. I can't watch anime in the house while my parents are home. So I have
Nobody can.
Nobody can. Especially that one either.
Yeah, that brings up a whole list of questions.
My parents, so Nick...
You want to talk about what's going on?
But it's, I think, my favorite anime now. It has to be, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Either it's my first or second, because I still want to rewatch it again, because it's really good.
So, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's kind of a toss-up. There's one that I've been that I've been reading. It's a webcomic. And it's been going on for 2 years now, I think. And it's called Unordinary. I'd really recommend it. It's it's a society of people, like everybody has a power, but like a superpower, but some people are stronger than others, and it focuses on this main character in a school, and at the beginning, I'm not going to spoil anything, but throughout the story we learn about how this one character, the main character, what his opinion of powers, like the superpowers are.
Yeah.
And but he's a cripple at the beginning. At the beginning, he doesn't have.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have a power. They call those without powers a cripple.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
Giving us cripples some bad names.
I know, right? But no, I like that one a lot. I'd really recommend that. You can read it on Webtoon.
Webtoon. I think I've heard of that before.
Yeah, it's a South Korean like webcomic reading platform. And everything's translated, like you're not reading Korean.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
They have it translated for the American audience, but it's a South Korean company.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really I recommend Webtoon if you enjoy reading like comics or reading interesting stories.
Yeah, because I think I use Manga Rock, and I use Anime X, Animania, and Manga Mania. I use a lot of apps.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, Webtoon's definitely a good one. And then the other one that I recently, like not super recently, but like I've been watching it since it started, and I love it, is Demon Slayer.
Yes, I've yet to see that.
It's really good. It's an anime, of course, because I'm sure a lot of us, like whoever listens, is like, God, freaking weebs. Which is funny because I'll talk about other things other than anime. Like I just talked about that comic, but
yeah.
No, it's a
comic
really good.
books are just American.
Yeah,
anime.
yeah, totally.
Not manga.
But no, Demon Slayer's really good. It's focused on a boy who one day comes home and demons have ravaged his house and killed everyone inside, and his sister's the only one that's left alive, but she's turned into a demon. And there's this organization of people that are they're basically the people who are they're like the police that go hunt demons, and the one that was sent to kill his sister, because she's a demon now, spares both him and his sister, and he saw how much potential's in him. So he gives him to his master who trained him, and he's like, make him a demon slayer because he's very strange. So I don't know. It's an interesting.
It's giving me it's actually giving me another anime vibe that I'm gonna have to It's gonna be delayed for me to check it out because my apps are super slow. Claymore.
Yeah,
that collection of animes on my phone that just go on for miles.
Oh yeah, no.
You have stopped reading everything. Yeah,
there's about 100,000 that that I'd recommend because I've watched, but I'm only just talking about what recently I've been watching.
Yeah.
Or continued watching or whatever. So there's a little. I guess we're just gonna make that the weekly. What did we watch last week?
What did we watch?
Or what did we watch or enjoy?
I actually saw Frozen 2.
Oh yeah.
I think the day after the last podcast.
What's your opinion on it?
Oh, it's awesome. I know it's a weird thing to think about, but all of my friends have seen it in the movie theater, and I didn't. So Mom was like, "It's a Disney movie, Nick, for kids."
Yeah.
But Mom, it's gonna be 20, 17, 18, and 19-year-olds going to watch this.
Right.
And I wasn't allowed to, sadly, because I would be the oldest one.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm yawning.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wow. Premium friendship.
No.
No, I know. I'm just messing.
My girlfriend watched it. She wanted me to go with her to watch it opening night. Or no, was it opening night? I don't think it was opening night, but it was opening week.
Yeah.
And we went and saw it. It was funny. She loved it, and I walked out, and I was like, "It's an experience."
I actually liked it. I think I watched it again, but not because I wanted to, because my sister didn't see it.
Yeah, I watched it again with
who's older than me.
Yeah, when I was with my girlfriend, I watched it again with her at her house. I'm not saying I don't like it. I didn't like the first Frozen.
That's
just a
alright.
personal opinion.
Yeah.
But the second one, I can sit here and admit, the one thing I hated about the first one, honestly, was probably the annoyance of the songs. I think.
Yeah, the second one annoys me more because of the songs, but I've caught myself listening to them on Spotify.
Yeah, I can at least admit, like, the second one's songs that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the first one, I wouldn't even say the songs are bad, per se. I just hate how, like,
we've listened to them so many times.
Yeah, it was more of, I just hated how often they were played and how, like, annoyed I was by the, like 2 or 3 months it was out.
And everyone was just talking about that one song, ignoring, like, the other songs, which were also evenly great.
Yeah.
But people were just talking about that, the Let It Go song, and I can't listen to that. Just the thought almost makes me want to take an ibuprofen.
Yeah, just headaches. But no, the second one was good. I'm not saying it was bad at all. My girlfriend loved it way more than I did, though. And she was like, "Why don't you love it?" And I was like, "I can admit it's good, but I don't love it that much."
I like the graphic change. If you noticed it, the graphics.
That was the next
insanely
thing.
better. Like,
that was the next thing I was going to say was the look. Disney. I mean,
Disney's been perfecting it for years, but
I think ever since Pixar with Cars 3, like, I've noticed that even...
Yeah, the Cars 3, what do you think of that one actually compared to the other cars?
Well,
I know it's a weird thing to say.
I know, it's like some jumping hoops. Pixar with Cars, I would say Cars was never really a great franchise.
Okay.
So, when I was young, I liked Cars 1. And then when I was still very little, so I liked Cars 2. But now that I'm older, I can watch Cars 1 and understand, like, why I liked it. Because it's a good movie. But Cars 2 is honestly just made for...
trash.
Well, it was more of just, I know why it was made. It was made to put flashy colors in front of a child. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whereas the first one you can enjoy as an adult. Some adults enjoy it. Like, my dad loves that one.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But the second one was meant for kids. That's obviously what it was for. And then the third one...
That was just to wrap everything up.
The third one's honestly just supposed to be... Those who enjoyed it, it's supposed to be the final movie for them.
But I easily can see you can easily watch 1 and 3.
Yeah.
And not watch 2 at all and still be perfectly fine.
Yeah. But I thought it was alright. But I was going to say, what I was saying was, that was kind of when I noticed a change in movies where...
Oh, yeah, because that graphics was crazy too.
That was when I noticed, like, graphic 3D movies, they're getting insane. Like, because right after that, wasn't Toy Story 4 right after that? I think there was another movie in between that as a buffer, but I don't remember.
I think Dumbo was before, but I don't remember.
Well, like, the live action movies are in between that.
And but I don't know if you can put that on the same plane, though.
Yeah, those are different in, like...
Those are specifically designed.
Yeah, computer-generated images, like... Yeah. Wow, I like how I said the entirety of CGI to sound as most pretentious as possible. Jeez Louise. No, CGI, like, that's... I don't know if... I want to look into animation a little more before I go saying anything, because I'm sure that I'd say that those lions from The Lion King are CGI, and then I'd say some nonsense like Toys isn't CGI when it most likely is, and I'm just stupid.
Yeah, it is hard to say. I mean, because I don't know the definition of CGI in the sense of if, like, a toy is compared to a Lion King, which one is CGI and which one doesn't.
I think, keep in mind, I don't know anything, so I need to really look into that before I go saying anything, but I'm pretty sure that the way that it is I think both of them are CGI, but I'm pretty sure that something like Lion King, the reason why that one looks so terrible is because it's trying to simulate, like, real life more than be an animation, and you can only animate so far before you start noticing, like, inconsistencies. And plus that entire movie is, like, you know, there's no hand... I don't feel like there's any hand drawn or hand created anything. It's just assets that they used, or photorealistic images, whereas, like, Toy Story, it's... the way it looks is because it's the way they wanted it to look. Yeah. Like, whereas they're trying to make it look like the real world in the Lion King and in the Dumbo movie, which Dumbo...
I enjoy Dumbo.
Yeah, I mean, you said that last time. Yeah. I think that I watched that one. I thought it was good, but it was mainly because it wasn't 100% animation. It was live action for the most part, and then it just had the CGI elephant.
Yeah.
Which is weird to think that that's not a real elephant.
Yeah. I mean, I think for the actors, it would be a bit harder to act to things that aren't there.
Yeah.
Because I could only imagine, have you seen the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
I heard that was a bit of a hard film to do because...
wasn't that made in like late 90s, early 200s? Early 2000s?
I would think so. It looks great. I mean, to even today's standard.
I'm pretty sure it was made in the 90s because I don't remember, but I know that it was like it's well liked.
Yeah. But I mean, none of the animations were there. I mean, it was this dude just acting as if something was there. I can only imagine that driving people insane sometimes.
I mean, that's how like Marvel movies are and stuff like that. Like,
well, that's different though.
Yeah,
that's
like
called using your imagination to think a film is there.
Yeah, all those movies that have a fictional character or that a CGI character. It's weird to think that you have to act with something that's not physically there.
Yeah.
So then I guess going on to just because Lion King is a bad one. I mean, okay, I'll admit. Well, I see the problem with the live action movies is it's not fair to look at those live action movies and people tell me
and compare it.
Not only compare it, but people go like, "Oh, they're good." And I'm like, "But they're only good because they're using the plot of a pre-existing story. They didn't add anything. Yeah. They didn't change anything. All they did was just
turned RTX on.
Yeah, they just coated a new paint."
Mm-hmm.
So I guess with that one, how would you, which is like this next segment, how would you rewrite, like whether it be these live action movies, or how would you rewrite any of these like movies that you see as a bad movie? Like, I guess.
I mean, because we're talking about Lion King, if we wanted to make Lion King, I guess up to par to a better movie that I actually would want to see again. I think weird enough the music was actually my problem. Because even though it was remakes of the old music, the old ones don't need a remake.
Yeah.
They were perfect as is. I know in some scenes they can't do, but I feel like they should have tried to do something. I don't know, making the movies that are trying to be realistic through what was it called again? What was Lion King? A live action.
Yeah. I
think live action movies are a bit hard to perfect.
Yeah.
Because I mean everyone enjoyed them when they weren't. Mm-hmm. I mean we enjoyed them as cartoons or handwritten.
Yeah.
It looked and felt more natural. And when you do it into this kind of new era, it kind of takes away from like the magic of the movies.
Yeah.
But this is another anime that I would actually love for it to be changed is Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Like I said, the first 2 seasons are premium. And then after that, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever watch it again.
Mm.
Rewriting that one would be, I think it'd be easy in the sense of going back to the original very first season idea or the second season idea instead of completely changing it by doing a BS story change.
Yeah.
Which is, he was brainwashed and forgot everything.
Yeah.
And if anyone hasn't, read or seen Tokyo Ghoul, this is a little spoiler. I mean, they have what are called they're not called Quinkeys. I don't think they're called Quinkeys because I think that's something else, but that's still part of it. But they have a special power, and he was supposed to be the only one-eyed ghoul. 3rd/4th season, everyone was a one-eyed ghoul. So it literally brought his uniqueness down to 0. Like he was nothing.
See, a lot of stories do that where they kind of introduce this idea that you're the only one, you're the chosen one, and then most directors or writers have this idea of, well, what if there's another one? And once you add one, then it's no longer immediately it gets rid of that special factor.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about Tokyo Ghoul is because he was the only one-eyed ghoul and it understood. And then after that, they added power levels, which I was peed off about. It's no, this isn't Goku. This isn't Dragon Ball Z, where power levels actually make sense in a sense.
Sort of, yeah. No, they were abandoned very quickly.
Yeah, but they're like, there's 5 stages.
No, my word.
And I'm like, no, there's 1. Badass.
Yeah.
And they entirely remove that. They're like, if you unlock more of the brain, like left side of the brain, and I'm like, oh my god, this is getting more terrible as it's going down. Like, these guys are like just a hat. But instead of picking one, they're like dumping the hat and picking the things they think will sound cool.
Yeah.
They just need to delete, act as if, like, I don't know, 3 through 4 didn't happen.
Yeah.
And do a different one, or I don't know. It just isn't good.
Yeah.
What about you? Is there anything that
I'd rewrite?
Yeah.
There's quite a few. Speaking movie-wise, I think the worst movie that I've ever seen. I'm glad I didn't see it in the theaters because I would have left.
Mm-hmm.
I really would have left that ticket. I wouldn't have felt anything as I walked out. That movie, Glass, by M. Night Shyamalan. So he had that famous, like, because, M. Night Shyamalan's not a very well-liked director.
No?
No. Really, he's not.
Oh.
It's mainly because a lot of his recent movies have just been...
I haven't heard much about him, though, so, I mean, that's probably why.
Yeah, if I'd have to show you some of his movies, because he's not a great director. Okay, the big thing is, he's not... He likes his stuff personally, and it's all more power to him, but a lot of his movies just aren't that good, in my opinion, and that's a collective opinion of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sure there are people that like his movies, but I don't. He's that guy that directed the last Avatar movie, or the last Airbender movie. Yeah, that's him.
Yes.
So, he had probably the first movie that was good that he's made in a while, called Split.
I love Split.
Yeah.
I've watched it like 20 times.
Yeah, that one, I'll admit, that's a good movie.
Oh, yeah.
I personally have some things I don't like about it, but other than that, it's a great movie, in my opinion.
Okay.
So he decided to follow it up with a connection at the end of the movie. It connects to one of his other movies called, I believe it was I think it's Indestructible, something like that. It's about this guy that finds out he's invulnerable.
Yes. I think when it comes to Split and that entire series, I think it's actually comic based.
Well, okay, so that's the thing.
Why it was supposed to be a comic movie.
Well, it was supposed to be his version of comics, is what it was, and so he had this movie that was his first big movie. I think it's Indestructible. I don't think it's that. I'll have to look it up while you're talking, and I'll say it.
I mean, yeah.
But so he made that movie. It was good. He made Split. It was good. So he decided to connect them at the end credit scene.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "That's kind of weird that he would just connect it like that." But you know what? Whatever.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to connect
those stories don't connect at all.
No, but I still love Glass in the sense that I've seen it like 3 times, and it's because.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And the reason I do in the facility.
Yeah, the reason
I hate that movie. I literally
really.
I was my mom rented it and I watched it with my mom. Literally, I walked away.
Well, I mean,
I've seen the entirety, but I walked away because I don't typically get up during movies. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I stood up. My mom was like, "Do you want me to pause it?" And I went, "No." Went and got a drink. Came back. I missed nothing.
Missed nothing.
And then I left again and saw the end of the movie, and I still missed nothing. I know the entire plot, but I hate that movie.
I think for me, as a standalone film, it was really enjoyable.
Oh yeah.
And that's how I treat most of my film. Like anything I watch it first as a standalone film with some expectations of if they're connecting films. That's like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Every new Star Wars, it's kind of like, okay, I'm watching it as a standalone film, so I don't have like a super high, like I'm wanting this to be that type of film.
Yeah, no.
As a standalone film, I really enjoy every Star Wars as a standalone.
Yeah.
But once you start thinking, oh, they should have added this, I mean, if you start reflecting, the first time you watch a film, I think it degrades it a lot.
Yeah.
And that's where the second watch comes in for me. I'll watch it a second time to actually understand more of it. And
see, I get that kind of mentality, and I go into most movies with that, but my opinion, like, I am easily entertained, and I can watch a movie, even if I don't really like it that much, but I would say that movie was probably the most boring. So I looked it up while you were talking. It's called Unbreakable.
Okay.
And so
you're right.
So he connected Unbreakable to Split and then made Glass. And how I would rewrite that...
like Glass?
Rewrite Glass,
okay.
Yeah, because Glass was the one that I hated. I would say the way that I would rewrite that is probably focusing less on this whole, like, lockdown kind of thing. See, it's weird. That entire movie is just really slow, and then they break out at the end. I would say that the way that it should have been is, or how I'd rewrite it, would probably be that we trim like 99% of the movie with that facility thing. Okay. I would say that the movie probably should have started with, they get captured, they get put in this facility. That should have been the first quarter. Like, the first quarter is it shows all of them in their day-to-day, they're captured, and now they're in here. Maybe we spend the first quarter discussing who everyone is, because not everyone's seen Unbreakable. So we focus on that. I would say the second quarter would have to be them breaking out. So the second quarter, they've broken out of this facility, and they're not killed.
Yeah.
They're set free. Like, they get away.
Yeah. And
then maybe the third quarter, because I guess the whole thing was, we had this weird dynamic with the Split guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name right now. The guy from Split and Mr. Glass, the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
So we had that weird dynamic. So maybe it should have been that the bad guys break out first, and then the good guy, the Mr. Unbreakable.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. I think he was called the Watcher. I don't know. He breaks out too. Or maybe he stays in the facility, and then they have to go to him and be like, hey, I know we've tortured you and stuff and said you don't have powers, but, like, could you go catch these guys for us? Because they've got powers and you do too.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been interesting, I think, is if you let them get out and then we get out of that facility, because honestly, the entirety of that facility is why that movie's terrible, in my opinion.
Okay.
That, and then the ending, they killed them all.
Yes.
I think that... honestly, I don't hate the fact that they killed the characters. I don't mind that they killed Mr. Glass, and I don't mind that they killed the Split guy. Honestly, the Unbreakable guy, that felt like a weird thing, because, his weakness was water or whatever, but they drowned him.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's like, that's everyone's weakness.
And I was like...
You can drown and burn anyone.
I was like, it's kind of weird to write a character who's invulnerable, and then just suddenly kill him with water.
He's invulnerable. What's his weakness? Rain.
Yeah, like a slight drizzle.
So a slight drizzle.
Like, I don't know. I think that's ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like, if you're going to kill the characters, fine. But I think your reasoning needs to be a little better than that. And I don't know how well he established the water weakness in Unbreakable, because I haven't watched Unbreakable.
It's been so long.
I didn't even watch it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I watched it multiple times, but it's been so long that... I wouldn't be able to remember.
And I'm sure if I watched Unbreakable, it would make sense on why he drowns him, and that's the only way he could have killed him or whatever. Mm-hmm. Maybe he established that a little better, but at least in this movie, it was not established well at all. It was like, this is his weakness. But why?
Because it is.
And it's like, he drowned when he was little, and it's like, that's not how that works.
Right. And
I don't know, it was just weird, but I think if we got them away from that lockdown facility, the entire movie would have been fine. So that's probably how I would have done it. I would have rewritten it where they get out and he kind of chases after them, and then...
Yeah, like he kind of gets hired, almost.
Yeah, and then it's this weird, like Batman type story where it's go after the bad guy, stop the bad guy, and then maybe he doesn't stop them correctly, or maybe he falls into their trap, something like that. I know he was trying to do some weird spin-off of comics, but the way he did it was terrible. Because we didn't really talk about those characters more than someone telling them they don't have powers.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was such a weird... I hated that movie. I really hated it.
You have every right to hate whatever you want to hate.
Yeah, and I know... I'm surprised you like it. Because honestly, I would have figured that you wouldn't like it either, because it was such a slow, nonsensical story.
I love slow movies. They're actually one of my favorite.
Really?
I'm not a huge fan of fast-paced, action movies. Don't get me wrong, I love action movies. But my favorite are the ones that are super, super slow. Like, a lot of people, like, shun away from them. For example, The Lobster. There's no speed. Like, it gets slower as you keep watching it. And there's, like, a little pickup. And there's, like, some interesting things. And I love the ending of that. The ending of how The Lobster has it is actually how I think I want most movies to be. It's up to you as the watcher. For example, The Joker, The Lobster, and then there was another movie that I didn't enjoy it, but I watched it.
I don't really mind. I guess I don't really mind slow paced. I just don't like movies that the slow pace is slow for no reason. Like, I don't like it where it repeats the same thing over and over. We focus on these three characters basically getting waterboarded, tortured, and, like, sat down and said, you don't have powers. And then they're like, but I do. And they're like, no, you don't. It's such a weird thing. And especially for the Split character, because we never established he was a superpowered guy. Like, he had that beast thing.
Yeah, he had beast mode.
Which was just, like, so we established he has mental illness. And that was what we established. He says it himself. He's like, I have multiple personality disorders. Because he has that baby guy or whatever that's inside. Like, it's a 6-year-old personality. But the whole thing about the movie was it's supposed to be he has a mental illness, but he has something, like, scary about it. And it was supposed to be this kind of shock factor where it was, there's another personality. He's the strongest one.
Yeah, they make it sound like it's a rare occurrence to see him.
And it makes sense. And it makes sense as well because they were like, he kidnapped the girls, and they were like, why did you do it? And they're like, because he wants you. And that's supposed to be it. I don't know, it's like you took a horror character and threw him into a comic story.
Yes.
And I don't think that he fit at all in that movie. He kind of made it fit because it was supposed to be a psychiatrist talking to them, but either way, I don't know, I just hated the repeat of the same thing over and over, and we got nowhere, and then finally they break out and they all die. Like, they didn't even get out of the parking lot. They died in the parking lot. No,
it was literally like...
Yeah. And I was like...
100% contained.
Yeah, I that's why I hated that. Because it was like, when that happened, that should have been the quarter mark. That should have been like the 30-minute mark to me.
Okay.
So that's how I would rewrite that, is I'd switch around and get out of that facility, to be honest. So I guess just kind of like, again, because we're just following these guidelines that we do.
Well, I have almost a question. I mean, you could probably we're going to do it next. But,
okay, yeah.
Endings. I have noticed that, like, every movie has the same ending. Either it's the happy ending where everyone gets to live happy. Second movie, oh, they didn't. Or, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of any of the endings that's been happening lately in, like, any movie. And like I said, my favorite ending is the one that isn't specific. It's literally up for you as the viewer to make your own ending.
See, I kind of get that. Like, I like, for at least me, for how I like endings, I like the ending to wrap up all the current storylines. And maybe, if you're planning on sequels, then leave some questions out in the open, but, like, I think that the ending should wrap up what we've been talking about the entire movie, or like the plot of that movie, at least. I don't think that any movie should, we're getting to the final couple minutes and then you still got the question of, wait, why?
Yeah.
Like, the entire movie. But as for like good ending, bad ending type thing, I mean, that's kind of to be expected.
I mean, yeah, because it sells a lot. It looks good. Most people enjoy it. It's like, oh, he got the girl, and we're like, of course, you knew this ending would come.
Yeah, just look at, like, Star Wars, again. Like, most of the time...
Everyone knows the ending.
Yeah, well, more of just, like, I think it's the second movie where... Isn't that the one where Luke gets his hand cut off? Yeah. In the original trilogy. The Empire.
Okay.
Yeah. That one doesn't end with a good ending. He finds out Darth Vader's his dad.
I guess, that's not a good ending.
Gets his hand cut off.
It sounds pretty happy to me.
They're retreating. Like, they're running away because Luke basically lost. Yeah, no, we don't end on a good note on that one.
I mean, yeah. And that's what kind of, like, I don't know. I mean, I think that was a good ending. In the sense of, like, to carry on.
Yeah. No, I think, I don't know, there's a lot of movies that have kind of an open-ended ending where it's just like, hey, we run out of time, but we'll continue it next time or whatever. Like I like Harry Potter.
Yes, I like Harry Potter as well.
Just about all of those movies have good endings, except for near the ending, like near the end of the series, like Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Yeah, those were setting up. But yeah, those didn't have great endings.
I would say...
in the sense of, like...
I can't remember. Does Order of the Phoenix end well? I don't think it... No! Because Sirius dies at the end of Order of the Phoenix. So Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows Part 1 all have...
Part 1.
Have, like, somber endings.
Yeah.
Because they don't...
See, I think that's kind of...
They're not even good or bad. They're just somber. Like, yeah we won, but, like... Yeah,
at what cost?
Everything sucks kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the open-ended endings, but I mainly like it when it's like everything is spelled out on what should and shouldn't be continued. Like, this plot line's done, but this one continues.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I think that
I mean, everyone has their own preferences, of course.
Yeah. Well, another thing would probably be that I don't like when an ending is ruined. Like,
In what sense?
I hate when like a story will end a storyline or end a plot line, and then something will happen in a sequel or in something else that ruins that plot line.
Oh.
Like, ruins the weight of a plot.
Yes.
Like,
Or the first movie, the ending is actually really good, and then the second one is just like...
Well, it ruins the thing about... That was my thing about Star Wars, was I hated the fact that we've taken Luke, the savior of the galaxy...
Oh, yeah.
And made him a whining toddler that wanted to kill his nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hated that. And I hate when, like, blatant character assassination happens. I hate that. Where, like, we'll have a great established character. Halo did it. Fucking Halo.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Halo, I've never played any Halos besides the... Well, I played Halos.
So I've played one or two Halo games, but I've watched most of it, like gameplay of it. Mm-hmm. And on Halo 5, they don't focus on Master Chief anymore. They focus on this new guy. And
I heard 5. I never played 5, but I've never heard anything good from 5.
I feel like his name was Deadlock or Shotlock or something like that. But anyway, basically, Master Chief's supposed to be the top tier. He's... we've played.
He's like the Doom guy of Halo.
Yeah, he saved the galaxy, I believe. Or he saved... he's insanely, impressive. This dude who we've just started playing as this game beats Master Chief in a fist fight. He manages to beat... Yeah, this
I haven't seen
this brand new character we know nothing about beats Master Chief in a fist fight, and in my mind that's like, wow, that's one of the examples of just blatant character assassination, where you take a character who is established to be something, and you just completely ruin it, like, just because you wanted to do something, and like typically that happens when somebody gets a hold of a character. And they're like, oh, I know what I want to do with them. And they do whatever they want to. And it typically is never good. Another example would probably be... Star Wars is just obviously the first one I can think of. Finn. From the first movie, he was supposed to be one of the main people.
Yes.
Immediately drops the ball for him in the Last Jedi. Immediately.
He doesn't even matter. I don't think.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I don't think
after the first one, he's not relevant anymore.
Yeah, and which sucks because I think Finn was a really good person. Like, I think they could have done a lot more with him.
Yeah, he's a surviving. Like, he's a stormtrooper gone good, and everyone's like, "Whoa, sorry for the creaking. We're sitting on my crappy little futon."
And if I'm right, I'm not sure, but this has happened before, where troopers have actually gone rogue.
Yeah, well...
this isn't the first, because what they were saying is they actually did tests on stormtroopers, because they've noticed that some of them actually have been going, rogue.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely a
That's a really cool
It's an
thought.
interesting story, but like in this Last Jedi, this is where like I hate it when it's so blatant. Like it's so obvious that they don't know anything about the character. Because there's a scene where that stupid character Rose. Not anything against that woman's actor.
Wait, Rose.
She's that Asian girl.
Oh, I feel bad for her.
Yeah, she's a great actor. Unfortunately, that character was the worst character to add in. There's a stupid scene where she shows him what the dangers of war is. Really, the dude who
Stormtrooper
literally watched his friend die and like took his mask off with blood and was like, "I quit being a stormtrooper because of too much bloodshed."
Yeah,
and she's
he was
like,
killing innocent people in the dozens.
And she's like, "This is what war does." He knows what war does.
He is what war does.
Like, really?
But no, she actually had the same treatment as what's that floppy-eared dude?
Jar Jar?
Jar Jar. She's actually gotten death threats constantly.
Yeah, I heard about that when
that isn't right.
When the movie went big.
Yeah, I mean she put as much as she could into a character that she was given.
Oh, I don't think any form of like when any movie comes out when people
Jar Jar, that dude's still getting death threats.
Well,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's more of just like I hate when anybody gets threatened. I hate fan bases, really. I think because any fan base is kind of insane. Like, the Sonic movie.
Yeah.
Did you know that when that first design came out, that they were getting death threats by Sonic fans?
No, I could see that actually. Because the idea that they came up with was creepy.
Oh well, and then there's the weirdos that think that they purposefully designed it that way to get attention on the movie. When they made,
that's a lot of money to just throw away like that.
Well, not only that, but they made toys and stuff that they were gonna get ready to sell, and then when they had to recall all that. That's a large amount of money to just throw into the wind.
Yeah, just to be like, oh, we purposely just wasted every bit of money that we tried to save up for this one film.
Yeah, but no, I just hate that. I hate that fan bases can ruin anything.
Oh yeah,
like
quick.
Like, you know the game Undertale?
Yes, I've never played it.
Okay.
I wanted to, but then there was a lot of weird stuff that was happening with it, and I was told not to.
So I liked Undertale when it first came out. If you don't know what Undertale is, it's a game.
I don't know how you don't know, but
yeah, it's a game that came out. It's a little indie game that came out a little while back. I think 4 years back, something like that. It's a little old by now. But it was supposed to be it was an interesting concept because it was an RPG, which is a game where you go like kill monsters and stuff, but you don't have to kill any monsters. You don't have to kill anybody.
You can play pacifist.
Yeah, you can befriend everyone. And the big thing was that you can make friends with everybody. You don't have to kill anyone. Well, the fan base for that took it and ran, and it's honestly, like, they made disgusting fan art. They made so many, like, they changed things. They made weird alternative universes. Like, the fan base got toxic, in my opinion, and they went kind of insane, just making gross things where they want the main character to have relations with one of the skeleton characters.
Oh, yeah.
And the main character is a child. Yeah, a child.
It's a child, yeah.
It is literally defined as child in the game. And that's my dog. I think he's just barking at something outside, though.
Probably. But yeah, no, I don't look at the art for any of that because no.
I just don't like fan bases for most series and stories and stuff. Like, fan art is one thing. And most of the time, I like fan art. Yeah. But I hate the people that will, like, fight you on what characters shipped with what. And
yeah,
like,
no, it's fan art. It's what you want to make. It's not controlled by anyone else.
Yeah, well, like, I'm fine with the shipping thing, but I hate the people that'll, like, fight for shipping. Like, they're like, my ship is the correct one. You're like, okay. And then they're like, I'll kill you if you disagree. You're like, oh,
I'm not disagreeing.
Okay. And then they're like, check out my Rule 34 fan art that I did for the ship. And I'm like, please leave me alone.
I agree with you. Now let me leave.
Yeah. Untie these bonds.
Untie these bonds.
Yeah, that's when I hate a fan base, is when it gets to that point of ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Because I think that any fan base that gets to the point where they're like toxic or attacking people, like Steven Universe.
I've never seen it, but I know of it.
It's a Cartoon Network show.
I know Steve. I mean, I've been told again to watch it. I'm good.
Yeah, that one too had a lot of toxic people, and I'm not saying anything against the people that enjoy it. If you enjoy it, congrats. I don't care. But there was this artist that drew one of the characters, and in her art style, she drew her kind of dainty, kind of just thin, and it's a chubby character.
Oh.
And
I could see where people could kind of get the wrong ideas.
Yeah, everyone attacked her with death threats, saying that she was fat shaming or whatever. And then some other girl drew one of the characters who is depicted as a character with like pink and purple skin or something like that. Like just these characters that are not any race, but they drew them a little lighter shade, or they drew them kind of like they made them into people and drew them as like white people. And they're like, that person's not supposed to be depicted as white. And you're like, what? And they're like, you're whitewashing. Like, that's when it gets a little toxic to me, where it's like, I mean, is it really that bad, though? They did that for Pokemon, too. There's the new Pokemon game that came out, Sword and Shield.
Mm-hmm.
There was a controversy a while back. There was a trainer that was revealed to be black, and people drew her just a little too light-toned, and everyone was like, oh, that's whitewashing. It's like, she's still black, though.
Right.
They just kind of made her a lighter tone. That was
right.
it. Because and everyone was like, this is the tone you need to be using. It's like...
They just show a paint palette.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Oh my god.
They showed colored palettes on what she needs to be painted, and everyone was like, you're a little crazy.
You're right. I'm a little bit racist.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what that is? That's racist.
You know what I smell here? Racism.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. That's when a community, in my opinion, is too toxic. Too much. That's when it's like, I need to step away.
Yeah. You can't even end communities. They just permanently exist until they die out.
Oh, they die out eventually. Like, I don't know anybody that's still posting Undertale stuff, but...
No.
I'm sure there are, but...
The few couple people.
Yeah, it's just like, that's when it's fine again, is where it's just one or two people, and then you can just kind of ignore it. But when it's the vocal, whether it be the vocal majority or minority, like the people that are vocal are the people that you hear, and those are the ones that are the most annoying.
Yeah.
This other point. So again, using the guidelines that we just write guidelines, and all it is it's just something to talk about, so we can kind of keep ourselves.
They keep us talking, and there's no, silence or less of it, anyways.
Yeah. So one thing that we wrote here was ghost stories, because yesterday we were talking about psychics and how we think they're insane.
The most professional of people. Psyches.
Yeah, I'm letting in my dog. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and head that off? You want to?
I guess to start off, psyches who know why they're doing it, in the sense of it's for closure, and they're not forcing huge bills out of people's pockets for closure, I have nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
It's the ones who blatantly, just non-stop will fight you, which is weird to think a psyche will fight you. I mean, if they're psychic, they could just, tell you in their mind.
Yeah. No, I think what got on the subject when we were talking about that was that woman in like the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
That I showed you, where she got called out on the news station.
Yes, twice.
The one that I showed you was the one where the news anchor said, you said that this girl was beaten, raped, and murdered. And she's like, yes, I remember this case.
Right, I still do to this day.
And then she's like, that girl is me.
Yeah, oh my gosh. It was hilarious to me, because I was like, haha, you're finally caught. Yeah. And then she just walked off.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up her name real quick.
$400, by the way.
Oh yeah, she tried. That's right. She was trying to charge $400 just for what she was doing, and she was lying.
Yeah, 100%.
God, I found the video, I just don't remember her name.
Yeah.
Let me see if the comments... No, no comments. I mean, there's so many fake psychics.
Yeah.
Like the Long Island Medium show.
Yeah.
100% fake.
But again, I'm perfectly fine with if mediums know what they're doing and the people that are getting psyche help understand.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want blatant lies in the sense of, like, they're telling you they can do this and they can do that and they can do that. I like ones that are more like, I can help you.
Yeah.
And not tell you. But I'm not sure.
God, there's so many psychics that, like, got caught and got arrested and stuff like that. Like, I just typed in psychic that got caught on the news and, like, I can't...
Oh, jeez.
I can't find her stinking name. I think this is her, maybe. Hold on. Nope.
No. That's a bottle of perfume. That is not a dude. I mean, not a psychic.
Well, anyway, I can't find her name, but anyway, we were talking about some psychics that have gotten caught and all that, and we were just like, man, I just hate the, like, just blatant lying to a person who's going through grief just to take money.
Yeah. The money portion is a lot bit wrong in the sense of they overprice by, like, a mile. Like, I understand if it's a side job that you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, for closure, sure, I guess, but I don't know. I just hate the, like... And I know some people are going to believe psychics. And I'm not...
And then I'm not
tell you what, I don't disagree. If you can show me psychics that claim they speak to the dead, all right, more power to them. But I don't like ones that, like, they've been caught lying.
Yeah.
Like the woman.
Like, be good and not get caught. That's the
the moral. It was just this one woman that said she went to this guy and said that he claims his daughter was beaten and murdered, and he doesn't know, or he said she was murdered and he doesn't know what to do, and she made up that his daughter was beaten, murdered, and raped, and thrown in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Here, $400, and I'll come back and and I'll tell you if I can find her body or whatever." And then she goes on the news, and the woman says, "You said this girl was blank, blank, and blank," and she was like, "Yes, I remember that." She's like, "Well, this girl's me. It was her childhood pictures," and she was like, "What?" Just kind of, just had to roll with it, and it's like, see, you got caught. You were a liar. And it's when they get caught, and then you know that, like, they've been charging for this service that they've been doing, and they've just been lying to you is all they've been doing.
Yeah.
And if you believe in psychics, more power to you. I'm not saying anything against that. I'm just saying there are some that are just out for your money. They're just lying.
Like, I have a psychic friend. I don't hang out with her much, of course. Quarantine.
Yeah.
But she doesn't do it really at all for the money. She does it for people's closure.
Ah.
She doesn't tell them where bodies are. She literally makes it where, I mean, she mostly, gets them high as sky high. She's literally, like, gone up to me and she's like, "Yeah, so I get my customers high as a kite, so my job is easier." I'm like, "Oh, I love you. You're amazing." Because she was like, "Yeah, they pay me for the amount of weed I lose because they smoke it. That's it." I'm like, "That sounds like just having fun with people." She goes, "It is."
Oh my word.
So that type of psyche I'm down with. 100% the one that's like, "I'll help you smoke this Indian joint."
Oh my god. So, what about you? Do you believe in ghosts?
Kinda.
Kinda.
I mean, for me, I don't know. It's a hard one. Because I've had weird experiences in my life, and there's probably, again, reasons for why they happen. I just can't think of why they happen.
Right.
I would say unknown force. I would believe in unknown forces. If you compared it to, like, ghosts or spirits. I mean, I think there's something out there, but it's not
like
ghost.
aliens?
not in aliens in the sense.
Well,
I mean,
I guess we'll get to aliens next.
Aliens is a whole different storyline. We won't get that probably until, like, I don't know, podcast 3 exclusive.
Yeah. Or we talk about if we believe aliens exist.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
I have stories of, like, old men telling me about the time they were anally probed. We'll talk about that later in the story. I know, and they're great too. They had no teeth, so I had to believe them.
So you have.
I had to. They had a stench of beer.
They reek of truth and knowledge.
Nothing speaks more truth and knowledge than tobacco, and I'm pretty sure Bud Light. But besides that story, which could probably be a whole day, I guess I would say yes.
Yeah.
For the sake of, it'd be interesting. I don't know. It's a hard thing to think about.
I don't necessarily believe in ghosts per se, because like I think that every story has a feasible explanation.
Yeah.
Like most ghost stories can be explained with an explanation.
Mm-hmm. Like it's an old house.
Yeah, yeah. But there have been instances where something like I can't find a reasonable explanation, and thus I just kind of say, yeah, it's a ghost story.
Yeah.
Because it's
or
just
an aborigine, if that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Right? Is that how you say it? Or am I like butchering that word and probably saying something else?
Aborigine, I don't know.
Or isn't that how you say like unknown force that's spirit related?
Apparition?
Apparition, thank you.
I think is the word. I think that's the word you're looking for.
I think so. I'm like looking up in the Urban Dictionary. It's gonna be something really bad.
And you've said something racist.
Yeah, right. Just
you insulted Indians or something like that. I mean, Aborigine.
A certain selective group that lives in the aboriginal forest of Madagascar.
You know, the funniest thing is Aboriginal was the only thing it was trying to autocorrect to. Yeah, no, that's not a word.
No? Oh, well, welcome to this podcast. We make some new words.
We make new words.
Let's add a definition to that.
Interesting.
An unknown force that could be related to spirits. Boom.
Yeah.
That is the
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary, this for me. I'm illiterate.
No, I don't. It's more of I just say it's a ghost story when I can't think of an explanation, just because sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
But no, not necessarily. I don't really.
Like I don't target ghosts. I'm not a ghostist.
I had interestingly enough, I had a friend that claimed he was a ghost hunter, and he had a group of friends that would go. They'd go to these places where they apparently get told like it's a haunted place.
You just go to the cemetery. Like,
see, that's what I was just about to say.
Bats and start beating, like...
Yeah, no, they went to a cemetery.
Oh, no.
And,
ghosts never hang out there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Why would you...
And, he was like, we went to this cemetery, and this was his explanation that ghosts are real, and I was like, okay, what's up? He said, so we went past this statue, right, with it was an angel pointing,
mm-hmm.
And, he said they walked around the cemetery, and nothing happened, and then when they were leaving, there was a nail that was in her finger, like, kind of like this. Like, just, there was a nail pushed into the stone of the angel.
Okay.
In the finger, and I was like, okay. And he goes, ghost.
What?
And I was like, wait a minute. That's not... It's like, hold on.
You see that house that was built there with nails?
Yeah.
Ghosts.
Yeah, it was a ghost.
Just anything with nails.
It was just so confused. He was like, we went past that statue. There wasn't a nail. We went back, and there was a nail. It was a ghost. And I was like...
I would have left. They went to a different...
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like
I was more just like, you really think that when you walked past that statue the first time that there wasn't something you couldn't have noticed in the statue? Like, you mean to tell me that a ghost would take his time to stick a nail in a statue, in the finger of a statue, than just to, do something else?
Yeah,
like, how
like
boring.
Steal one of them, or I don't know, knock over said statue.
Yeah, I was like, could you imagine being that ghost, comes out of your grave, and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna troll these guys. And
right.
You put a nail.
I have to go to Home Depot first, though.
Yeah, you put it. I gotta take a trip to Hobby Lobby. Give me a minute. Like, Jesus, dude. That was when I was like...
That was retarded.
That's dumb. That's straight dumb.
I love it, though. See that nail? Ghost.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He was like, you see that nail in his finger? That's a ghost.
Oh my god.
It's like, you're an idiot. You're an actual idiot.
Premium idiots. Jeez.
Oh man. But no, that's kind of like, that's just how I am. I'm like, I don't particularly.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I die, if I die.
If you die?
If I die. You never know, the possibility of immortality can come to me. I might find a random, vase to rub on.
I might get bit by some radioactive nonsense.
Some radioactive nonsense.
Give me...
Go to Chernobyl. Purposely.
Goes to Chernobyl.
Rubs the elephant's foot.
You try to get immortality, all you get is cancer. You're like, I'm gonna go to Chernobyl to get immortality, all you come back with is stage 6 cancer.
And a third arm.
Third arm, 4 eyes.
Oh my gosh.
Your spine's becoming
2.5.
Your spine's becoming a tail.
Oh my god.
All this, but you still couldn't grow a leg.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no one understands that.
Oh yeah, we didn't even establish that you don't have a leg.
No. So, hi, Nick, just in case, I don't have a leg. So if I make any, comments towards cripples that you think is pretty mean, it's probably targeted to me.
Yeah. I feel that probably should have been established before we said anything else.
That should have been, my opening thing in the first...
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm missing a leg.
Right, it was like, hi, I'm Nick. I'm a weeb.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh yeah, I'm a cripple weeb.
I'm also a cripple. That we established you look like Jesus before we established that you're missing a leg.
I am Jesus with a limp. I am Pimp Jesus.
I am Jesus with my I'm Jesus with a bike lock as a leg.
Oh god.
Oh my word.
Okay.
I was gonna say, do you have anything else you'd like to add? Because we're getting about to that time.
About time. Oh, is it really?
Yeah, we're at 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Jeez. Are you still listening to this podcast? Comment no.
Comment no that you don't like our stuff.
Comment yes if you like it. No, remember the phrase. Comment yes if you hate us. Comment no if you're listening. Do both if any of those,
apply.
Hit 0 or pound key to
Press
pound
944
555
to be directed
182
to a scam artist. Give him your social security.
Oh yes, speaking of that, there was a Facebook post that was like, if your social security number was how rich you are.
I saw that.
And I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, and I looked at the numbers and went, oh, they all have the numbers.
Dude, on Reddit, there was a dude who he went to some subreddit and said, if your credit card numbers was your bank account, how much money would you have? And then he added some other details to ask for the rest of it, but people actually did it, and I'm sitting there like, nah, I'm sure everyone in this is fake. And then I had my Switch open, and I was like, surely one of them is an idiot. And I did it, and someone was an idiot.
Oh, no.
I bought a game.
You bought a game?
I bought a game.
That's so...
I didn't charge I didn't charge anything crazy, but it was like...
It was just a $300 Switch.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
No, it was just some game, but it was really funny just because it worked, and then I refreshed the page, and it was deleted, and someone said, yo, wait, did he really put his card? And I was like...
Oh my god, the power!
The power!
I feel bad for people that screenshotted that.
Oh, I'm sure.
So now they have a whole bunch of random just credit cards that should now be disabled.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure now that
they're all probably gone.
There were people that actually fell for that, and
I feel bad for those people. But I mean, if they do that, they probably deserve all their money to be gone.
That's natural selection.
That is natural selection. That's like if you really put your social security number down, all your information, thinking the post is like, oh, no one's gonna think of this.
It's the same thing.
Natural selection does apply.
Yeah, it's when people take pictures of their credit cards and debit cards, and they're like, guys, I got my new debit card.
Oh my! I think Kanye did that, or some big famous dude.
I know a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Where they'll post like there was one good guy that got the Nintendo gift card and scratched it, and he goes, why are the codes so long? Someone got the code before he did, and he goes, guys, my code doesn't work anymore. And I was like, 'cause you are an idiot.
Live code exchanging. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Halfway through doing it, you should.
Yeah.
So not do it live at all. Or
just
spend
not do it.
Yeah, I mean, there is always that option.
There's just that
And
option.
if you are doing it, know that you're doing it. If it's like a giveaway.
Well, that's purpose.
Different. That's
purposefully.
purposeful. Do it purposely. And if you do it by accident, say you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Not look like a
dumbass. Pretend that you knew what you were doing.
Right.
At least then we would know that you're... Whoa, I burped in the middle of that
Oh,
sentence.
jeez, yeah.
No, at least then we know you're not terminally stupid. Like, that has got to be...
Should have a natural selection.
That is
law.
natural selection.
No, just an natural selection law that we just put in place.
What, where we just terminate all the people that make dumb decisions?
Oh, not even terminate them. Just don't even, like, give them a social security number. Just like, yeah, they're here.
Oh,
they're just here.
That just made me think of this funny comic I read. This guy is walking with his friend up the stairs, and he goes, "What's that red dot in your head?" And he goes, "Oh, I hired a sniper to kill me if I ever do something that I'll regret." And then he trips on the stairs, and he looks at him, and he goes, "Goodbye, friend."
Oh my god.
I'm like, that would be how that would work. We just have laser sights
just,
on all these people.
Oh my god.
One guy just trips and looks at his parents. "Goodbye, mother."
Mother, you've raised a failure.
Mother, you've raised a failure. Try again next time.
Insert another quarter. Mom, insert a quarter. Mom, please.
Or it's the same joke as the guy that goes, "Honey, look away. We failed."
Oh my god.
That's so messed
Kids
up.
playing Fortnite in the other room, and the dad says that.
I like how we have now divulged into us just saying stupid things. Just like, let's make as many stupid references as we can. Because I wrote it. Dang it. On the guidelines.
Didn't even like look at the guidelines for a good amount of time. Look back at the guidelines.
Funny stories.
Funny stories is literally.
And then I wrote
at
extra.
the end.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We're just bound to follow the rules.
We are bound by my writing.
Oh my gosh, that'd be a great story in general.
Oh yeah, that'd be. We didn't even talk about story ideas.
No.
But then again, I really feel that we can't tell them on the podcast because
it is hard. Like, we can do general ideas, but we're gonna have to like overthink it a lot.
Yeah, but just people like who I could imagine some storyboard artist.
I'm kidding.
Some storyboard. Executive just tuning into random podcasts just to get inspiration, and then what do you know, it gets
a whole story.
Yeah, it gets, oh hey, not only do I have a whole story, but these idiots told me what their names will be and all that. Like, man, that sucked. But that would be an interesting story though, just sitting here, I write something and then we're bound by it.
Right, we have to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
In that case, happy ending, immortality.
Immortality.
Wait, can you have happy endings with immortality?
I don't know.
Because there is no ending to immortality.
I don't know any story that has a good ending that they have immortality. Because I know that... Like,
definitely not Mr. Who. Or not Mr. Who.
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who. Never has a good ending.
It never really does.
I don't think it's ever happy in that show, really. I think they have moments.
There's happy.
I mean, happy. You can have unlimited happy moments. Just know that there will never be a happy ending in your life.
Yeah. Wow.
That's depressing.
That is such a depressing note to end the podcast on, but we're going to end it there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, might as well.
Might as well end it with a great note by me.
Yeah, what the heck,
You can have unlimited happy moments, but God, your death is going to be bad.
Oh, Jesus. Anyway, okay. So I guess we'll end it there.
Sorry.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah.
I'm Evan.
I'm Nick.
And I hope you guys tune into the next episode of the Chronicle Cast.
Have a good day.